AI automation is absolutely everywhere right now, and it feels like the big race is all about speed. Who can build faster, who can connect more apps? But what if that's the wrong race? Today, we're going to look at a totally different way to think about AI architecture, one that's built from the ground up, not for speed, but for trust. We're talking about building automation that you can actually bet your entire business on. So let's get right into it.
Okay, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to dig into the real reason AI is being held back in so many places. Then we'll unpack a new architecture that's all about trust. We'll see how it actually works in practice, watch how it gets smarter over time, and then we'll see how it all pulls together into this really powerful ecosystem. Let's do this.
All right, let's jump right in. What is the actual problem holding back AI automation in serious organizations? Because, the story that a lot of the big tech companies are telling, it might not be the whole story.
I mean, think about it for a second. Why aren't the places that could benefit the most, like banks, hospitals, law firms, why aren't they going all in on AI automation? Is it really because it's just too complicated? Or is there something much, much deeper going on here?
We hear it all the time, right? Oh, it's just too hard to build. It's an engineering problem. But honestly, that's completely missing the point. The real roadblock for these critical industries isn't about how to build the tech. It's about whether they can fundamentally trust it.
The real problem. It's a control problem. Right now, most AI tools get the keys to the kingdom. They can see all your sensitive data, send emails as you, trigger payments, change records, you name it. But when something inevitably goes wrong, what happens? There's no audit trail, no real governance, no one's accountable. And for a bank or a hospital, that's a complete non-starter. It's an architectural flaw, right at the very core.
So that brings us to the solution. Instead of trying to bolt on safety features after the fact, what if you designed an entire system where unsafe behavior was, well, structurally impossible? That's the whole idea here. Before automation can be useful, it first has to be fundamentally trustworthy by its very design.
And this right here, this is the mental model that changes everything. It's so simple, but it's incredibly powerful. The AI doesn't actually do anything on its own. It only proposes actions. Your organization's rules, the policies you set, are the only things that can actually execute. So the AI is just an assistant. It's not some rogue agent running around.
So how do you actually build that? Well, it rests on these 5 pillars. First, all the code is cryptographically signed. Think of it like a tamper-proof seal. If you change even one letter, it won't run. Second, like we just said, the AI can only propose things. Third, and this is huge, your plain language rules are the final judge and jury. Fourth, all your secrets, your API keys, they're kept under extreme lock and key. And finally, the hardware itself literally checks to make sure the software is legit.
Let's just double-click on that last one for a second. Hardware attestation. This is so cool. It basically means the server's own physical hardware checks all of its software against a guest list before it even boots up. If a single file was tampered with or changed, the server just refuses to start. Your data stays safe and encrypted. This isn't a software promise, it's a hardware guarantee.
Okay, so that's all the deep techie stuff. But what does it actually feel like to use a system like this? For a normal person, not a developer. Let's see how all this abstract architecture translates into a really simple, normal conversation.
To make this real, let me introduce you to Rachel. She's an operations manager, and her team is just buried under a mountain of support tickets about late deliveries. She needs a way to automate this problem like yesterday.
So Rachel just types what she wants in plain English, no code, no jargon. The system gets it, and it even creates a brand new connection to Shopify right on the spot. But look what it does next. It doesn't just run wild. It immediately asks a governance question. What are the rules here? What are the guardrails?
And get this, the entire thing, from Rachel having the idea to having a live, secure, policy-governed workflow running, took maybe 15 minutes. 15! No code, no waiting for an engineering ticket. She just had a conversation and set a simple rule.
Now, this architecture is smart about another really common headache. Official company stuff, like those emails Rachel is sending, they run on those super secure, verified servers. But what about things that need to feel, well, human, like a personal message on LinkedIn? Those run locally, right in the employee's browser. This split is brilliant because it means official company actions are always traceable and auditable, while personal actions feel authentic and don't get you banned for robotic behavior.
Okay, so we've got this safe, auditable system. But you might be thinking, does this just mean I have to manually approve everything forever? Isn't that a huge pain? And the answer is no.
Not at all. In fact, this is where the system gets really, really intelligent.
So let's check back in on Rachel. Her workflow is running, and it finds 214 orders that are delayed. Now remember, she set that cap at 200. So because the number is over the limit, the system pauses and says, hey, I need your approval for this. The policy she created is working perfectly.
So Rachel looks at it, says, yep, looks good, and approves the batch. But here, this is the magic trick. The assistant doesn't just move on. It asks, hey, since you approved that, do you want to make it a permanent rule? It's actually learning from her decision.
And this is the absolute key to the whole thing. That governance, that manual approval, it's not a permanent tax on your time. It's a temporary overhead that the system turns into a permanent automated asset. Every single human decision makes the system smarter and more autonomous over time.
All right, so now let's zoom out one last time, because this architecture doesn't just create value for one company in a silo. It actually builds an entire ecosystem where the value just keeps compounding for everyone who's part of it.
Here's how that works. First, any tool or workflow you build is instantly reusable by anyone else in your company. But you can also share your best workflows with the entire platform and actually earn credits when other people use them. And it even works for data. The platform caches data, making it cheaper and faster for the next person who needs it. The whole system just gets better and more valuable with every single user.
So let's just put it all together to be crystal clear. This isn't trying to be just another automation tool. Those are all about the speed of connection. This is about the depth of governance. It's not about giving AI wide open, unchecked access. It's about giving it very specific, constrained, and audited access. So think less like a DIY toolkit and a lot more like smart contracts for your entire business.
And that really leaves us with one final and, I think, pretty important question. In a world where AI is going to be touching every single part of our organizations, if your automation can't be fully audited, if you can't see exactly what it did and why, can you ever really truly trust it? Now, if you're ready to start building with an architecture that's actually designed for trust, you can learn everything you need to get going at safebox.ai. Go there and sign up for the online course. It'll teach you how to get free cloud credits, launch your very own Safebox, and even start building a business that can earn you passive income online. Thanks so much for watching.